stress. Everyone reacts differently to it. Some people cry, others pig out on cake, and there are those who roll around naked in glass wool. Cats tend to develop cystitis. Why? Because cats are from Mars, that's why. The internet is full of their crazy shit, and this happens to be a fine example. Feline Idiopathic Cystitis, or FIC for short, is a common cat disease of uncertain origin. Idiopathic is the scientific term for no clue why. We do see that it's triggered mainly by stress, but its exact physiological mechanism remains unclear. Many draw a parallel between FIC and the human painful bladders syndrome, which is a disease just as well understood. So how does FIC manifest itself? Most cat owners have probably seen their pets straining on the litter for minutes to relieve themselves of just a few drops of urine. Then they groom their private parts religiously and go pee yet again. But not in the litter. The otherwise potty-trained cat will piss on the Turkish rug. Again. When it was just 5 minutes ago that it peed. In the armchair. And it was bloody. And there goes mom saying, "Why cats, son? Why not pot-bellied pigs?" Anyway, these symptoms are not exclusive to FIC. FIC is part of the feline lower urinary tract disease group, every member of which showing roughly the same signs. Just to avoid confusion, the urinary tract consists of the kidneys producing the urine, the urethras leading it away, the urinary bladder storing it, and the urethra releasing it. The first two form the upper urinary tract, while the second two make up the lower one. It's easy to remember, just picture Mickey Mouse, slightly modified. So how to decide whether the lower urinary tract symptoms have an FIC origin or not? Well, you can use the ancient Babylonian method called the veterinarian, of course. And it is important to find out because while FIC is just a colossal pain in the ass, bladder, urethral obstruction, presenting the same symptoms, can kill the cat if left untreated. The patient history, the symptoms and the physical examination together usually point towards the right conclusion, but urinalysis is required to confirm suspicion. Sometimes diagnostic imaging and blood work are performed as well to exclude other possibilities. To treat FIC, we really need to understand the process of the disease. Well, we do understand some parts of it. When introduced to a stress source, the brain of the cat sends a signal to the orbiting mothership, which in turn zaps the cat with her bladder blaster. Okay, so this part is a bit unclear, but it seems like cats prone to FIC are more shy and sensitive than other cats, and the physiology of their stress response is different a bit as well. Their bodies produce more things but less stuff, which influences the thingamajig and the whatchamacallit. But this isn't quite certain. Obviously, I simplified it a bit. Anyway, the bladder wall becomes inflamed, which leads to pain and a constant urge to urinate. The protective inside lining of the bladder weakens, the urine irritates the tissues and worsens the inflammation. Let's see how we can deal with all this. Cats like stability, predictability, and safety in their lives. They only appreciate excitement that doesn't endanger any of that. All cats are born princesses, even tomcats. Any change in their lives can upset them. Moving, renovating, a new pet, a newborn, change of diet, and seriously, you used to sing under the shower before and now you play the piano. So do what you can, switch back to the old food, move back to the dirty little flat, and let Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru raise the kid. But of course, this isn't always possible, and sometimes we can't even tell what the problem is. Nothing seems to have happened and the cat got sick anyway. Well, maybe it's not just stress that can lead to FIC, but it's also possible that our limited brains cannot fully comprehend what upsets the sophisticated soul of a cat. If you cannot restore the original conditions, try to improve the current ones with something called Multimodal Environmental Modification, or MEMO. Here are the highlights. Make sure the cat has safe hiding places, preferably somewhere elevated to provide a good view of the environment. Keep the litter clean, don't let the pee and the poo ripen for days, they won't become more valuable but will frustrate the cat. Use one more litter tray than the number of cats in your household, but let the cats use them as well. Distribute them evenly in your home to have more spots to sweep up scattered litter from, but make sure they are in quiet, secure areas, well separated from feeding, drinking places. A covered tray is usually more favored, but it could cause problems for larger cats. Provide them with tools with which they can express their predatory and playful behavior, like cat furniture, scratching posts and toys. Rotate the toys so your pets don't get bored with them, and give them your personal attention as they need it. And come evening, give them thanks for letting you be their faithful servant. You can also use stress-relieving food supplements and pheromone vaporizers and sprays which lighten the mood somewhat. As an ultimate choice, antidepressants may also be given. Having access to outdoors covers plenty of the biological needs discussed, however, it introduces other stress factors like infectious diseases, the neighbor dog's teeth, and trucks approaching at 60 miles per hour. FIC can be fought very effectively by diluting the urine and increasing its quantity. You can achieve this by increasing water consumption, which isn't always that simple because cats don't like to drink more than the absolute minimum necessary to avoid death. If you've ever put a cat into a fruit press, you know it only makes a cup of dust. The most important step to take is changing dry food to wet food or soaking it in water, which forces the cat to drink while eating. The water being soft, aged and having a large surface is also a way to encourage drinking. Flavoring can help as well. Some cats enjoy babbling water. For them, tiny drinking fountains are an option. But not this kitschy shit, come on. The dolphin one. Relieving stress and increasing water intake is usually sufficient treatment, but sometimes a little extra help is needed. It seems logical to treat inflammation with anti-inflammatory drugs, but cats are not fond of logic. Most anti-inflammatory drugs have little effect on FIC. To combat the symptoms, spasmolytics and opioid painkillers can be given. Whether the defective inner lining of the bladder wall is reparable by supplying its base ingredients is still uncertain. However, plenty of cat foods and food supplements contain them just to make sure. Supplying them separately may or may not be of use apart from providing a revolutionary way to spend money. FIC is usually resolved rapidly with proper care. Spontaneous healing can also happen if the stress factor disappears or the cat gets used to it. It seems like FIC is also a product of individual predisposition. Some cats just never get it, no matter how messed up their lives are. Unfortunately, there are cases where FIC persists for a long time, making both cat and owner miserable despite all efforts, methods, drugs, cat psychiatrists and demon summoners, and you'd rather just give back your vet degree and go into politics.
There now. Want some milk and honey?
Yes. So, there are still plenty of open questions left in the topic, but we're not fumbling around in the dark in bloody urine anymore like 30 years ago. Summing it up, Feline Idiopathic Cystitis is a common disease of cats linked to stress. We're not quite sure how it develops, but we have brilliant ideas of how to cure it, with the most important being stress relief and urine dilution. Health. It makes you live longer. They will get bored with us one day. The technical information in this video was fact-checked by veterinarian Ákos Máthé, companion animal specialist, prominent university figure, and proud 15th in the local Adrian Brody lookalike contest. If you've made it this far, why not like, comment or subscribe, or check out my other videos. I know it would make at least one of us happy.